Hello and welcome to the Get Focused Millennial Matters episode 16, Swingtime San Antonio. Our organization, Growing Empowered Together, or GET for short, connects the dots between personal experiences and public policy in order to motivate young people to vote and volunteer here in Texas. I'm your host for this show, Roy Aguillon, and I'm also the co-host of the new Get It podcast, where we focus on exploring obstacles that keep so many young people from wanting to vote. Now, this is my first time hosting Millennial Matters, but I'm excited to help shine some spotlight onto some of San Antonio's most impressive young voters. Today's episode highlights two San Antonio dance couples who really know how to swing it. As always, the guests on our TV show are exceptionally talented, they care about community, and they vote. Swing is a type of dance that partners dance to, and it began in the 1920s and 30s in America. It's still also very popular among dancers of all ages here today. There are many varieties of swing dance, and today we have a special treat of watching two distinct swing dance styles performed for us. We'll see examples of both East Coast and West Coast swing, with apparently a few extra surprises thrown in too. Our first dance couple is going to be Leslie Kortz and Gilbert Carrizales. Both are popular dance instructors with a special passion for swing dance that has helped to define San Antonio as a really swinging city. Gilbert began dancing regularly in 2009 and enjoyed a variety of different dance styles before finally falling hopelessly in love with swing. He's won numerous swing dance competitions around Texas, including 4 this year alone. Gilbert's dance partner, Leslie Kortz, started dancing more recently, but jumped into it with both feet and her best dancing shoes. She co-founded the UTSA Swing Dance Society and has already won her first swing competition with Gilbert. Later this year, Leslie will also graduate with a degree in public health. Let's welcome Gilbert and Leslie to the GET stage. And can you tell people a little bit more, what is it that you do?
We swing dance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how do you even get into that?
So we have a lot of events that, well, we don't have them, but we go to a lot of events that they host here in town.
Where the heck did you even find the medium, and then how did you decide to pick it up?
Well, for me, I found it through a friend. They found out that I was interested in dancing overall. I did not know what swing dancing was. I just went, I took a class, and I was hooked instantly.
Okay, you take that class. You walk into the class. What's your first thought when you see what they're doing?
Well, can I join?
Really?
Yeah.
And what got you about it?
Well, I was actually a part of an honor society, and I met a friend there. We were having like a little game night that night, and like I said, he noticed that I was into some dance videos and said, "Hey, do you know choreo?" And I was like, "Well, I took drill team in high school, and I miss dancing." He's like, "Come on, join. We need members, you know."
How did you find your way to swing dancing?
That's actually a funny story. In college, my ex-girlfriend wanted to take a swing dancing class at my college, and I at first was very hesitant, and I thought it was going to be really boring. I thought it was going to be very just not exhilarating. So I went in. I was already breakdancing at the time. I was doing breakdancing, some locking, so I was already dancing in college. And when I joined the class, I took the first semester, and I really liked it. And to my surprise and to my ex-girlfriend's surprise, I ended up falling in love with swing dancing because a lot of the music that they play is very similar to what we played in breakdancing. It has a lot of there's a lot of horn sections, a lot of trumpet sections that are very similar to jazz music and funk music. So it was something that I really became passionate about. So after I joined that class, my teacher at the time, or my professor, she told me to check out Sam's Burger Joint, where they do swing dancings every Monday nights. Oh. So I went there, and the first time I went, I was hooked. And then we met at Trinity at an event they host there called Skyline Swing Dancing, and they host it every first Saturday of the month, and we met there.
Yes.
And that's where we kind of started to talk more about dancing, and I asked her if she wanted to learn more of Lindy Hop, and she said that she wanted to learn, and that's how we kind of hit it off.
When y'all first see each other dancing, did y'all notice each other from across the room?
I noticed her.
Yeah. I bet you did. I bet you did.
Yeah. No shame. No, I saw her and I thought that she was really pretty, and I said, you know what, I want to dance with her, because one very common thing that a lot of folks in the dancing in general, whether you're in swing dancing, land, you see someone across the room and you think they're attractive and you want to go dance with them, and sometimes that can lead to something else or something further. Sometimes it doesn't.
It does not have to be romantic.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. It can be purely platonic. It can be just purely.
And what's
friendship.
the nature of this?
This is romantic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. So how'd you
Yeah.
make that happen?
Well, again, it started off as a friendship. And I wanted to show her dancing, and I really enjoyed how passionate she wanted to be in swing dancing. So I wanted to show her some more of what Lindy Hop is and how fun swing dancing can really be, how fast it can be. And after that, we started hanging out more, and we started going to events, and over time, we really enjoyed our personalities. We really enjoyed our viewpoints in life, our goals. And so we just decided to just pursue it. And here we are now, 2 years later.
So how important is dancing to y'all's relationship, and how important do you think it'll be in any further relationships that you guys might have?
Oh man, well right now it's a big part of our relationship for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, it's the main reason why we came together. So,
Do you think it helps keep you guys together?
yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
And we understand that we both have separate lifestyles. Like I'm actually, aside from dancing, I'm a musician. So I travel and do gigs all the time. And she is involved with her school, and she's really passionate about getting done with her degree right now. And she wants to get into public health. And so we very much understand that we have our own lives, but we come together and dance. And we also come together with many other things too. Music, arts, movies, the political spectrum. Like we talk a lot about politics, even though sometimes we may disagree with things. We like to talk about what we enjoy, what we don't enjoy.
Oh my God, I am definitely going to crack that nut in just a second, but I have a question about something that you said earlier. You said that you did break dancing before you did swing dancing.
Yes.
Are there any elements of the break dancing that you're putting into the swing dancing
Yes.
now? And does it wow some of the crowds that you go see?
Yes, actually, there's a move that I do.
Yeah.
I didn't name it, but people over from, I think it's from Tulsa. Is that how you pronounce
Tulsa,
it?
yeah.
Tulsa, yeah. Some swing dancers from Tulsa came down to an event, and there's a move that I do where I get on the floor. I'll probably do it for the dance today. I go on the floor and
Hell yeah.
I get on my knees and I kind of walk on my knees, and I got that from breakdancing. And folks from Tulsa came down and they're like, you know what? We're gonna call it the Gil Walk. Let's call it the Gil Walk. And so since then, every time they come down, they always will say, hey, it's the Gil Walk every time I do it. And it's really cool because like my best friend also, he breakdances too. He's more of a popper, but he definitely includes, some of his style of dancing into swing. And folks that I know who dance other styles, they incorporate their other styles of dancing into swing dancing. So it's pretty cool that people who have different influences will incorporate that into their styles.
Well, I can't wait to see the Gil Walk. Let's talk about the politics a little bit, though. He mentioned that you guys have different opinions. What is one of the things y'all disagree about most?
I would like better access when it comes to primary care, especially to those, it's just not accessible, whether the fact they can't afford it or it's just not within their range, within their distance. And I would like to see that more with everybody, hopefully.
So when you're talking about that, are you saying something like Medicare for all? Are you talking about a public option? What kind of ideas have you heard out there in the public policy sphere that resonate with you?
So I've heard people totally want to get rid of private offices. I don't think that's necessary, but I do believe that there should at least be some form of, it could be Medicare, but overall definitely primary health care should be our first step in the right direction.
So then where's the disagreement?
Well, I think that I think that it might be a good idea to get rid of the middleman, as they call it, the private offices, because I'd like to go into a facility and know what I'm paying for, because I think that's a big problem, is that a lot of things are very much you don't know what you're paying for, whether you want to go in and get a screening, whether you want to go in and get blood tests, whatever the case is. And I think it's really important for citizens to know what they're going to pay for. And I think insurance companies really make it hard for people that, even no matter what class you're in, whether you're in the middle class, the lower class, I think it's really hard but especially for the ones who are in the middle class or lower class, I think it's hard for those people to really go in and say, okay, I know what I'm going to get, I know what I'm paying for, I know what I can budget for. And I think getting rid of the middleman might help with that a little bit more.
So, okay, is the disagreement then that you
think that the private company should be completely gone?
Yes, you want to abolish that and you want to retain some of it.
I believe that it helped, certain people are still completely fine with it. I just believe that it should still be an option, but I also believe that if people are not able to afford healthcare, Medicare is so far what we're looking at as for all.
What has it been like for you to be in a relationship with somebody whose political ideology is a little different from yours?
So we actually get that question a lot, especially with the fact that everybody who meets him assumes that he is a liberal, especially with his attire.
And the hair.
Yes.
Sorry.
But we work out our differences. We try not to let politics rule the relationship.
It's okay to have different beliefs, have different ideologies, you know, and I think that makes it proud of her to feel proud, you know, of other people that, you know, she supports what I do, I support what she does, and I think we're proud of each other for that. Okay,
let's talk a little bit about voting. I want to talk about that very specifically. What was the first time you guys voted and why?
I think the first time I voted was back in 2009. No, I'm sorry. No, actually, no. It wasn't 2008.
Madam, when was your first time voting?
The 2016 against, Hillary and Trump.
Very good. Listen, before we get going, I want to make sure that I give you guys an opportunity to say anything that you might want to say to the folks. Is there anything that you want to leave them with?
Of course, please vote, but do it for the sake of because you have this right and because you shouldn't let it go to waste, or else somebody's going to choose it for you.
I would say know your stance, do your own research, figure out what you're most passionate about, education, healthcare, the economy, whatever it is. Find something that will benefit you and your family, your friends, and vote on that.
And I'm very glad that you guys are diverse opinions, but you're still together. Keep swinging, you guys. For you folks, stay tuned. We got some more great episode coming up. Here we go. Our second dance couple is Courtney Johnson and Anthony Jackson. Both are professional dance instructors with a passion for teaching, choreography, and a wide range of dance styles. Courtney has been dancing regularly for 9 years and studies numerous different styles of dance simultaneously. Last summer, Git had the pleasure of working with Courtney on a film dance production called Dancing with the Causes. She and John Robert Mack choreographed an awesome flash mob that was performed on the Hayes Street Bridge. That stuff was cool. I wish you guys could have seen it. You guys actually should see it. By more than 20 young community leaders, including herself. Courtney has been teaching ballroom dance regularly for 6 years and is a proud mother of an adorable 2-year-old girl. Her dance partner is Anthony Jackson, who is also a dance instructor. As a young athlete, Anthony practiced balance, strength, and stamina, which helped to make him a smooth transition as a dancer. He's been giving dance instruction now for 6 years and has a great time watching his dance students progress and have fun. And you guys are going to do what today?
So today we have a West Coast routine for everybody. So it's something we've been working on just for the show, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Now, when you say a West Coast swing dance routine, for somebody like me who's pretty ignorant to this, what does that mean?
So basically, there's many different styles of dance. So out of these styles in ballroom, there's East Coast swing, there's West Coast swing, and this is just one of the different categories of dance where you can dance to blues music, you can dance and nowadays you can dance to anything that they're coming out with on the radio station.
Just what?
Yeah.
So you could listen to City Girls Act Up and you can do swing dance to it.
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not even lying.
Actually.
Courtney, so you've seen this.
I've actually, if you go to some like two-step clubs, like some country western bars, and where they have like the little ratchet hour.
The ratchet hour.
they'll play like hip hop for a little bit.
Yes.
You can dance West Coast swing to you can literally dance West Coast swing all night at a country western bar, not only to the country western music, but also to the hip hop segments.
I cannot wait to see this. Have you ever done it?
I have.
You have. Have you done it, Anthony?
Hip hop, maybe here and there at home. Absolutely.
Oh, really? At home? Okay.
Absolutely.
You know what? You guys are dancers like by nature. How often during the day are you just dancing?
I get teased frequently because literally as I'm serving people, I'll actually be like doing a turn, or I'll literally be dancing throughout my workday. So.
And what does that do for you during the day? Like when you get to put these little elements of dance into your day?
It's consistent practice.
Yeah.
So I'm literally always working on my passion. So.
Hey, do you feel smooth though when you're?
I do. And then as soon as I turn off, I'm falling around everywhere. So I'm much more balanced when I'm dancing than I am when I'm walking.
Does dancing allow you the opportunity to almost get out of your head and be like somebody else?
Oh yeah, this is another stage. It's just like as if you're acting. You put on different masks for the audience.
And Anthony, what about for you?
I have to say it's the same. It's a persona you put on. So it's like maybe you never had the opportunity to express yourself in a maybe sad or maybe emotional way.
It gives you an avenue to express it.
You can put on a facade.
Yeah. Now, where do you think it came from, though? I mean, you must have asked yourself this question, like, who the hell is this person that's just waiting inside?
the artist that makes the music, I think that's who we run off of. We run off of their emotions, maybe what persona that they wanted to infuse into their music.
You know what? I could see that. I mean, if I'm listening to the radio, all of a sudden I'm a drug dealer, and then I'm
exactly. You're like bumping in the car, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, we all have this little side of us that even though we're not a gangster, we can relate to. Yeah, I feel cool. You know, it's a feeling.
My kids.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, whenever I'm dancing, I feel like a spirit more invokes the emotion.
Can you just tell me more what that means to you?
I'm a Christian, so
beautiful.
blessed with the Holy Spirit. So I believe that God gives us all certain gifts, and He allows us to invoke them in certain ways. And this is just one of the ways that I invoke my gift.
That's very cool to me. So when you get on that stage and you start dancing, you feel as though you're like a channel or an avenue for God to show His greatness?
Yep.
That is something else.
Basically.
Damn it, that's cool.
Basically. And literally, it doesn't matter like what I'm dancing to. I think that's the case every time.
You know, do you guys do, in swing dancing, do you pick her up or what's up?
It's really up to the leader. That's one of the best things about West Coast Swing, well, about partner dancing in general. The lead kind of gets to dictate, and I'm just like, all right, yes, sir, let's go.
Does that ever get annoying to you?
Sometimes.
Really? Do you wish that you could lead?
Actually, I lead a lot more often than I follow.
Oh.
Because most of my students are either followers or they are learning to lead. So I'm either having to lead the followers or teach the leaders how to lead.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
So that's the role that I usually play, is the lead.
Has anybody ever told you that they were a very good dancer and then they didn't really know that you had all these skills? Oh, you laughed, so I know there's a story.
It definitely happens a lot whenever I go out to clubs. Like, they'll look at me and I'm like, usually I'm wearing like jeans or something and like a regular t-shirt. I don't usually get like dressed up like hardly ever for anything. So I'm looking super casual all the time. And then, so I'll just go out there, and if I'm lucky, because if I'm leading, most guys don't ask me to dance. Yeah, I know, that's a whole other thing. But if a guy comes up and he's like, hey, you want to dance? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good here. Da, 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 da. They know this, I know this, that, and the other. And then I'm sitting here like, you're doing a good job.
Great, good for you. What about for you?
Great.
You're a great dancer, so I can only imagine, brother.
Maybe if I'm casual dressed, I always wear my dance pants when I go out dancing. I don't know why.
Really?
She gets at me all the time.
I always have to tell Anthony, dude, just wear some jeans. Don't embarrass me. It's so embarrassing. Just put some jeans on.
I wear dance pants when I go out dancing.
Have you ever had these experiences where you're at a regular club or a regular place where there's dancing and they clear out, like you get that circle moment?
I have Art John's at a salsa club. It's a salsa club called Art John's here in San Antonio. Okay. People will actually watch you for a couple of seconds before they start evading the floor.
Look, both of you guys go to regular bars and clubs, so let me ask you this, as somebody who's layman's, right?
Oh, no.
Is there any little moves I could be using out there? Some little tricks?
Actually, yeah. One of the biggest things, even if you don't know any patterns, right? Like no specific patterns or anything to do with your feet. One thing I like to express to my students is that the most important thing that you do is make sure you connect with your frame. Because no matter where you go, no matter what you do, the lady will be able to feel where you're going and you'll be able to take her anywhere. Can I steal you for a second? If that's okay?
Is that cool? Okay, let's do it. Show me.
So basically, yeah. So if you're here, right?
Okay.
Instead of
Are you leading?
No, I'm not.
Okay, great.
Well, I might back lead a little bit. So instead of thinking about necessarily trying to pull me in, you want to actually add a little bit of tension through your frame. So just enough.
So I want this stiff or what?
A little bit, not necessarily stiff. So now I'm leading. No. So if I were to do something like this, that's not super comfortable, right?
Wow, I'm about to meet you, your ass right now.
So all you want to do is more like this, just a little bit of pressure, because once you apply that pressure, I can pull away. So I have something to squeeze into.
Oh, yep. I feel that.
And
hey!
You'll be able to actually literally take me anywhere as long as you maintain that connection.
You know what?
2-second lesson.
Just watch. I'm gonna put that right there to use this weekend.
Good.
I guarantee you that. Yes,
nice.
No problems. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about what we're doing here today. So today we're supposed to be talking about voting. We're supposed to be talking about politics.
Yes.
Do you guys vote, first and foremost?
Yes.
Absolutely. If I could be very honest,
Yeah.
I didn't start voting till last year.
Whoa, last year?
Last year.
So what happened last year that made you start voting?
Well, my father actually ended up passing away. He was just very in and involved with politics. And one of the things he's always been saying is like, he's been always talking about, y'all need to vote. When it's time to vote, y'all need to register to vote. I never did. And coming from a kid having a dad, and then I don't have daddy anymore. Yeah. And it really puts this little thing in your head that you're like, okay, now as a man, at least for me, it was like, okay, now I have to start thinking for myself. I gotta start thinking for, what if I have kids? What if I have kids? I don't want kids, dear God, no. Not right now, you know what I mean? But when that chapter happens, I gotta be involved with the world that they're gonna be living in. I gotta be involved with all of the craziness that's going on. I wanna make sure that they are able to have maybe just as good or better life that I had. I wanna protect them. And it all comes back to these protecting instincts and things like that. And I've had a great family, great childhood. So, and that's really the gift that I wanna give to my children. That's the gift that I want to give to my children. And for me to not participate in politics, that really does do a disservice to them. And not even just that. As I get older, these more thoughts that I'm thinking, it goes down to heritage. It goes back down to what we fought for in our country. And I think one of the things that is a blessing for me to even be appearing here on the show, which I thank you guys for having me, but is just the fact that that I'm able to voice that.
So I turned 18, I think May 2012. So I voted in 2012.
You did? Oh, awesome.
I was over the moon. I was so excited. I'll never forget when I did it, I called my grandmother. She was the first one I called because my grandmother, since we were little, that was something that she really impressed upon us, like take advantage of it, because we didn't always have it. She was born in the 50s, and so she was literally born into the fire, like when segregation was like in it. Like she used to tell us about, she was born in San Antonio, she lived here, and she would tell us about how she would go to the movies here, and they would have to sit, I don't remember what theater it was, but they would always have to sit up in the back, like as far away from the screen as possible.
In San Antonio?
In San Antonio. So it kind of puts a spin on things whenever it's like, oh, this is home, this is a home base, and this is what it is. And then you walk by, and then she's like, oh, that place that's where the sign used to hang that said, whites only or blacks only. Like, it was really trippy.
Now, okay, did she mention what happened to the Mexicans? I always wonder what happens to us. Like, we had to sit in the middle or something.
That's I don't know. I think about it, I actually don't recall her ever mentioning it.
I have one aunt who was alive during segregation, and she said that on the bus they never knew what the hell to do, so they would stand in the middle. They would just wait.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for telling me more. Okay, this has been fantastic. I really thank you guys for being on the show and sharing more with us. Now, we'd like to watch them dance, so get ready for a very exciting performance. Here we go.
Keep dreaming and dark scheming, yeah you do. You're a poison, and I know that it's untuned. All my friends think you're vicious, and they say you're suspicious. You keep dreaming and dark scheming, yeah you do. I feel like I'm drowning. Holding me down and holding me down. You're killing me slow, so slow. Oh no, I feel like I'm drowning. I'm drowning.
am a young Texan and I vote because I care about my family.
I'm a young Texan voter and I vote because it is a right that my ancestors did not get.
That's cool.
I'm a young Texas voter because I care about our economy, our healthcare system, and our education.
I'm a young Texas voter because it is my decision to build the healthcare system the way I want it to be.
Hey, that's cool. I like that. That was awesome. We'd like to thank all our guests for joining us today here on the Get stage. Their devotion and artistry as dancers impresses us, and we're grateful for them to taking the time to get out and vote. We know that they will be inspiring other young people who want to get informed, get engaged, and get out to vote too. Follow us on social media and see more clips and photos from our show today. You can learn more about these topics and our organization, Growing Empowered Together, by visiting the sites listed on the screen.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.